if we're talking about momentum versus volatility, COSM is primed to rip, but we have to go over every single detail to see just how likely that can be within the immediate short-term time frame. Let's validate. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this fine hump day, Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so we're looking at COSM on the daily chart here, and this is the statistical side of the analysis, as there is some pertinent information here for us to consider for the upcoming sessions. Okay, so as you can see, we do have a further pivot towards the upside on momentum. If we can actually just zoom in onto this and show that the implied path that we drew via this little silly line is in fact starting to get followed. And please do notice that some people may consider this already that entry point for momentum. And as far as volatility is concerned, which is actually represented by this indicator BBWP, we're at critical volatility right now. We're maxed out. I mean, we can still be maxed out at about 100%, right? But this is extremely critical, and usually anything within the 90 percentile is critical volatility. Okay, so this is primed. If we're talking about statistical terms here, it's pretty much ripe and ready to go. So now the move to the upside is still that implied 100 spot 378% move to the upside, and it's still relevant to the target we were talking about yesterday at about $11 and 2 cents, or $11. Okay, so this is still what we're currently looking at, but we do need to look at some shorter term time frame analysis first and see what can happen within that period before we continue on to this upside. Okay, because this is likely to rip soonish, but we must take everything into consideration. All the puzzle pieces must be in before we can see that image, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, and this is going to be the same formation we've been looking at for quite some time now, days and weeks. So this is the broadening descending wedge, and now we are, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because yesterday's candle, I mentioned that we did succeed the outside of the broadening descending wedge, and now today's candle is actually the first daily iteration where we have printed outside of this newly converted resistance into support from the broadening descending wedge. Okay, so I mean, this is like a huge spinning top doji. You know, usually the body is a little bit smaller, but still it's kind of an indecision candle, and a candle that presents the tie between the bears and the bulls. Okay, so it's still looking good nonetheless, because we are above this this newly converted resistance into now a support line. Okay, we need to validate this and need to confirm the outside for sure. The daily candle is definitely a good, and that's the absolutely minimum for what we need for us to continue on to the upside. Okay, so things are looking good nonetheless. Let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. So we're going to be touching on the Crypstex ARC-Series indicators, and this one in particular is the DBSI indicator. Okay, so DBSI is a statistical indicator that takes a metric of every single candle printed on the asset's particular time frame, in this case the bi-hourly chart, and it gives us a value of strength. Okay, so the strength is between the bears and the bulls, displayed right up here as a percentage. Okay, so you can see that the bi-hourly chart is suggesting that the bulls and bears are at a tie, very much in accordance of our spinning top doji right over here, the bull versus bear's tie, and we are still honoring this long signal that that DBSI gave us on December 28th. Okay, so it has not printed a bear signal just yet. And another thing that's still very positive that DBSI tends to notice is that we're still above this yellow line, which represents the 13-day exponential moving average. So as long as we are above this line, it's still looking pretty bullish for COSM. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and block the visibility of DBSI and take a look at the ARC-Armor indicator. Okay, so the ARC-Armor indicator is an indicator that's comprised of several exponential moving averages. They're all placed in close proximity so that we can gauge a type of motion. Okay, so this wave actually is able to give us suggestions as far as buy and sell signals. Okay, so they appear as little tags like this. Okay, so you get a short signal here, it goes down, that we have a long signal here, it goes up. So all of these types of signals are built into the algorithm of the indicator itself, and we still are honoring our long signal printed down here on about January 3rd. Okay, so and the green bars are starting to print like we've been talking about, it's potentially going to make that that conversion wave. Okay, just like let's see, yeah, we're going to go ahead and go down here, just like this here is happening. Okay, something like this. All right, so as soon as we do get all of the exponential bars moving into that green area, then we are likely to move to the upside. Okay, but it's still looking pretty healthy. Let's go ahead and now move on to the RSI, as there are some things that we need to touch on here. Please, new viewers, focus in on this diagram here as it is blown up for your convenience. These 4 zones in particular are the zones that I will be speaking of mostly, and they're located right here on the chart for your convenience. Okay, so now the immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute, is suggesting a downside continuation, but please do know that we have the 14-day simple moving average, which is represented by this pink line below us, and the RSI signal is the purple line. Okay, so as long as this is below us, it's still a bit bullish. Another thing to notice is that we're in the deep areas of the bull weakness percentile, which can usually mean that we're going to face a bounce and continue on to the upside. Okay, so the bi-hourly RSI is still suggesting some sideways trading. The 14-day moving average is suggesting a slight upside. It is below us, which can serve yet again as a form of support before continuing on to the upside. We'll have to validate that as it moves, because this is still suggesting sideways. Okay, 6-hour time frame also suggesting that teeth grinding sideways thing that's been happening, and as you can see, the 14-day moving average is below us. Again, we can use it as a form of support and a continuation onto the upside, but there's no guarantee. It's still up in the air, which literally these 3 time frames thus far are very much in accordance of what we're looking at within the DBSI indicator bull bear score, or bear bull score of 50-50. Okay, and also our spinning top doji on the daily candle. Okay, so this is giving us that bias. Okay, so now the daily time frame, since we already saw the 6-hour, is suggesting sideways trading as well. Okay, and I mean, the pivot on the 14-day moving average looks healthy. It is above us though, so this is still a little bit bearish, and we are definitely within the zone of the bear weakness. Okay, so the likelihood of continuing sideways with a little touch of bullishness is likely, or the likelihood is great. Okay, so now just in case, let's just look at the buy daily and see what it has to offer. So the buy daily is suggesting upside, and it is approaching now the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile, which could mean that we can face an upside gravitational pull fairly soon. 3-day time frame is suggesting upside as well. It looks like the 14-day moving average may be crossed here, so this is leading me to believe that upside continuation is actually not going to happen in the next day, that it may happen actually in the following days. Let's see, so we're on Wednesday right now, so potentially Friday or Monday, continuation to the upside. Okay, based on the larger time frame RSI and the statistical metrics right over here. Okay, with the momentum suggesting some upside, but still needs to be corrected. Pardon me. So please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I can't suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Okay, I need you to do your own DD, and everything will be just fine. Okay, you guys. But I think that should do it for the video today. If you are interested in acquiring any of the Crypstex, if you are interested in acquiring the Crypstex, the ARC-Series indicators, please DM me, send me an email or however, and we'll go over the subscription packages. One thing that you should know is that the subscription packages that TradingView has to offer have nothing to do with the indicator visibility, as the indicators are scripted by the authors, Crypstex, which are authorized retailers within the TradingView space. Okay, you guys. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.